Director of TechBean. He founded it in 2011. Graduated in Instrumentation and Control Engineering, he has experience over 30 years in industrial automation, building automation, HVAC, and ELV systems. He worked for Johnson Controls as a director and head Global Center of Excellence in Engineering for 7 years. He has also worked with Tata Honeywell for 13 years and handled several key portfolios. So now let us welcome Mr. Vijay Kumar Sanap. He will speak on building automation. Over to you, sir. Sanap, sir.
Yes, I am here. Hello, can you hear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everybody. As ma'am introduced me, my name is Vijay Kumar Sanap, and one last line I think she did not read. And I was also lecturer. When I started my career, I was teaching at COEP for first 4 years, and that is because of my passion for teaching. And I always like to be close to the younger generation. And then my journey, industrial journey started. I am a hardcore instrumentation person. Like I graduated in instrumentation and one of the probably few who have actually made their entire career in instrumentation. So those two companies, Johnson Controls and Honeywell, both the companies are in instrumentation. Both are pioneers. Both are the leaders in their respective fields. This presentation today is a very basic presentation. In fact, before going to the presentation, I would like to thank the management of D.Y. Patil College and also IQAC for inviting me for this presentation. Special thanks to Dr. Wadi, who also happened to be my old friend. And okay, so this presentation, what I'm taking you through is a very basic presentation. It is not a very high-tech, because I understand the audience here is a mixed audience. Like we don't have all the instrumentation, we have people from all the streams. And I try to make it easy for everybody to understand. And my intention is to more of a for the people to know, to understand what building management system is, and like that system and try to use that system because it has immense benefits. So I will share my presentation. My screen is not coming.
Sir, you are presenting.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Please start slideshow.
Okay. Okay, my company name is TechBean Systems, and we formed this company in 2011. The sequence for today's slides will be like, I'll just very quickly introduce our company. Then I'll switch on to building management system. What is BMS, architecture, components, what all can be monitored, what are the features, what are the benefits. If we get time, I will also share a few projects we did with you people and also our partner network. So as a company, we are more into the solutions. We don't sell products across the counter. So we take the complete project. And it is also called as ELV, that is extra low voltage. And this is all of our instrumentation. Extra low voltage is your controllers, PLCs, and all those devices. They are actually called as extra low voltage. That means ELV devices. We take the requirement, we make the solution, we design the solution, and then we implement the solution. These are the business units. We have the automation, that is our instrumentation, building automation, home automation, extra low voltage system. Telecom, that is mobile tower construction. Services is something we do for the bigger companies like Honeywell, where we work on their projects for graphics and programming and stuff like that. And we also do operation and maintenance. This slide, you all must be seeing on your screen. This is Antarctica. Now, this is something which is close to my heart, and I really feel proud to be when I show this slide to any presentation. I'm sure all of you know where Antarctica is. It is very close to South Pole, or it is South Pole. And we, as a company, we maintain our Indian research station called Bharati, which is located in Antarctica. India has two research stations. One is Maitri and the other one is Bharati. Bharati got commissioned in 2012, and it was awarded as one of the most advanced station in the world for 3 years in succession. And since 2013, we are maintaining that station. Our 4 engineers are physically placed in Antarctica, and senior people travel there during the Antarctic summer. What we maintain there is BMS, PLC, we maintain fire alarm systems, CCTV, access control, power generation, water treatment, seawater intake, because we take water from the sea, it's on the coast, fuel farm, and public address system, all the systems. The thing is that the station is being managed by a very senior scientist from Government of India, and our person, second in command, is our person who actually takes responsibility of the complete station. So that was about TechBin. Now I'll jump onto the topic, that is building management system. So what is building management system? Okay. To start with, let me very clearly establish the analogy. When you talk about building management system, we all instrumentation people, whenever we say control, we always think about the industrial process control. We think about PLCs, programmable logic controllers. We think about distributed control system. So building management system is the twin brother or sister of the distributed control system. What distributed control system does to the plants, building management system does to the buildings. Now, buildings are very important element in our entire society, in the world. Almost 40% energy is consumed by the buildings. And building management system helps you save that energy, helps you manage the buildings, etc. 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 So it is a microprocessor-based system which centralizes and simplifies controlling, monitoring, operation, and management of various buildings. And why? What does it do? What is the outcome? So it is to get safe, secure, and comfortable environment. It also needs to save money, so it saves energy saving, and at reduced time and cost. So that is about building automation system, or it is also called as building automation system. It provides comfortable, safe environment, and what does it control? So it controls a whole lot of systems. It controls HVAC, that is heat, ventilation, and air conditioning, chillers, pumps, boilers, variable frequency drives, DG sets, lifts, STP, ETP, that is sewage treatment plants, energy meters. All the information is actually gathered at one place, and that information is used in controlling various parameters and also in the decision making. Now, this is the architecture, this is the hierarchy, this is 3-level hierarchy. That is a very basic level. To the bottom of the screen, it is a field devices. So you have transmitters, you have levels, you have sensors, you have root controllers, and all those devices which are actually in the field, they are field, and all instrumentation students will know about this. Like if there is a temperature, you have a thermocouple or RTD kind of sensor, or those kind of sensors there, or a level sensor. Then the signal from the field level is picked up at automation level. So automation has controllers, automation has supervisory controllers, all those interfaces are there at the integrators, all of that is at the automation level. And one level above that is management level. Management level is where actually operator is sitting and working, controlling the building. The boss or the director of the company is actually looking at the screen and checking how much energy is being consumed and things like that. So that now there is a 4th level which has come in. Just a presentation before me, Mr. Suryavanshi had talked about IoT. So IoT is getting big way into building management systems. This is the same thing in a functional way. Like if you see IO functions, then you have measuring, signaling, switching, and positioning. Measuring means if you want to say measure a temperature, and based on that you want to control a valve. So that is the standard control loop for instrumentation. Then the signals are gathered at the field IO functions. Then they are processed. Then they are processed in the BMS. BMS has its own controllers. It has intelligent controllers like PIDs and logic controllers and all sorts of controllers, counters, trends, everything is there in BMS. Then once the data is processed at the processing functions, the actions are taken and the information is passed on to the operator. Operator also can do the function exactly same way as we do on the panel of a PLC. Operator also can start the pump, stop the pump, or whatever actions he desires to do. He gets the alarms. He gets the alarms. He is able to print the reports and all of that. And management function, as I said earlier, is the data analysis, documentation, engineering, maintenance, and networking. Now, what are the main components? So, as I said earlier, BMS is just like any other control system. So, it has a direct digital controller, which are actually mounted in the field. It has a distributed architecture. So, controllers are mounted in the field. Like if there is a huge campus, and if there is a AHU room, air handling unit room, so you'll have a controller actually mounted in the AHU room. All the signals from the AHU are locally wired to the controller, and one cable will come from the controller to the control room where there is a BMS and the supervisory controller. And that is the reason this is called as a distributed architecture. Then you have sensors, you have actuators, you have cables, workstation, database server. That is the hardware side of it. The software side of it, you obviously need a programming and configuration tools. You have a GUI, that is graphic user interface, alarms, reports, and threads. All the BMS in the world, they operate on basically on two protocols. One is BACnet and the other one is LonWorks. So these are parallel protocols which are considered in US. BACnet is the most widely used protocol. LonWorks also used, but majorly LonWorks is used in Middle East and Eastern Asian countries. Modbus is a protocol which is used for integrating third-party devices to BMS. Now this is a very summary architecture. Like if you see on this screen, you see a whole bunch of systems which can be connected to BMS. So it is not just like BMS controlling something. It definitely can, and it does. But the more benefit of BMS is it also can get interfaced to a lot of other systems, which includes your UPS, which includes your gensets, which includes your pumps, includes elevators. All the systems in the building can be interfaced to the BMS, and BMS gives you one control and monitoring of all these devices from one central location. This is a very, very basic principle of any controller. This is for those who have not so much idea about the instrumentation. So you have sensors, controllers, and outputs. So sensors give you input. If it is a temperature, there will be a sensor like RTD, which will give you the variable resistance as measurement of temperature. It goes to the controller. Controller has algorithm. It could be just on off. It could be PID. It could be whatever it is. And then the process signal goes out and it drives the valve or a supply fan or a dampers or VFD. So this is a standard, very, very standard controller. These are analog inputs. This is again a very basic thing. Analog inputs are something which is a continuously variable signal like temperature, humidity, water. Digital is a binary, on, off. If you want to know status of the pump, so it is a digital input. Or if you want to know the trip status, it is again a digital input. Then outputs, you have analog output. If you want to have a modulating valve, so you have to have analog output going there. If you want to have VFD, you need to have analog output going there. Digital output is two-state. It is like lights on or pump on. So that is digital output. That was the hardware side of I/O. You also have soft I/Os. So when you integrate, as I said earlier, that there is a Modbus is the interface which is used for connecting, majorly used for connecting third-party systems to BMS. Now, if you can connect a fire alarm system to BMS, the fire alarm system connected to BMS on Modbus. So all the detectors of fire alarm system, when they go inside BMS, they are like soft I/Os because they go on Modbus. Same is with access control systems. You have energy meters, you have DG sets, you have lifts. All these devices are connected over a Modbus interface. There is an option that you can also connect these devices through real I/Os, but then there is a limitation. This most of you will know. Like there is a field device. That field device, let's take an example of level sensor. So level sensor, there's a tank level I'm controlling at 75%. So that signal will go to the input module over electrical lines. Electrical line means low voltage lines. So it goes to the input module. DDC controller will process it. If my level is 75 or above, nothing will be done. But if it goes less than 75 plus deadband, so if my deadband is say 10, so if it goes less than 65, then DDC controller will give signal for the pump to start, so that it will start again filling the tank. This is how any control loop, anybody having little knowledge of instrumentation will understand this. Features of BMS. What are the features BMS come up with? So it is a user-friendly data presentation. That means GUI, graphic user interface. So what you have here, you have a building. So you click on the building floor, you go to the floor, you click on the equipment, you get to the graphic of the equipment with live graphics. So it will actually give you the real values. It also gives you a floor plans. Alarm management. Now any alarm happening in anywhere in the building or in the campus. We have done one project very recently with one resort just after Murshi, and this resort is called as Atmantan Resort. Now that resort is 45 acres campus, and we have one central control room where all 45 acres, all the systems and devices across the campus are monitored from one place. So if you get an alarm, immediately the operator will know. He will alert the person. Alarms can be a settable alarm, the alarms which I can set, the alarm system alarm that there's something wrong with the system, and you also have a trip alarm, like if your elevator is tripped, or if your pump is tripped, or any device is tripped. Reporting. So reporting is very important, because what is happening in my building. Now, if I talk about building, I talk about airport, I talk about huge malls, I talk about resorts. Yes, talk about real. So yes, so event recording. What happened after, like if sequence of event. This also is required for the postmortem analysis. If something happens, then like chicken first or eggs first. So that kind of confusion can be solved with this event recording. Time scheduling. So time scheduling is very important, because if I have a big mall or I have an office like Infosys IT, or many people are there, but they are off on Saturday and Sunday. So you don't want all the lights to be on, you don't want all the chillers to be on, you don't want entire AC to be on. So time scheduling takes care of that. It has a calendar input, and then it will tell you also on other holidays or season wise. So you can schedule this equipment, and then that result in convenience and also a great deal of energy saving. Remote connectivity, my friend just now explained to you a lot about IoT. So yes, we are no behind that. BMS is very, very actively using IoT. It is used for monitoring multiple facilities at multiple locations. Practically, there is no geographical limitation at various places from one central place. And the one facility could be in US, other facility could be here in Pune. So that's where IoT come in, and it is a great deal of help we all got. It is actually a blessing for this kind of industries. Benefits. So people say that buildings will house talents. So if we all go to the college, D.Y. Patil College, there is a building, right? Now the people inside that building is talent, and they need some kind of working comfort. They need proper humidity, they need proper temperature, they need proper ventilation. So all of that can be controlled by BMS. So it improves your indoor environment quality. Energy saving, as I have been talking about it, more than 40% of energy in the building is consumed by HVAC and by lighting. So HVAC is heat air conditioning basically. So if you schedule your chillers, like on a Sunday, switch them off or keep only one on if you have 3 of them. Same is with the lighting. Same is make it lux-based lighting, and it actually saves whole lot of energy. 10 to 20% energy saved if you have a BMS, which is not recognized by people, unfortunately. Maintenance. Now my pump is running. Now BMS can tell me that, boss, your pump has already ran for say 5,000 hours. Now it's high time you maintain it. And those kind of messages goes to the maintenance staff. So it doesn't wait till the failure happens. You get a preventive maintenance. And then the person can maintain it so that it will increase life of the equipment, and eventually it will also reduce the failures, and that will make everybody's life easy. That will also save a lot of money because of the increased life of the equipment. Consolidated facility control, as I said, the guy sitting, you see there in the picture, those screens might be, one screen might be from the facility here, other screen might be from the facility in some other country. So all of that is possible with BMS in connection now with IoT. When user friendly for operator, as I said very in the beginning, it is very friendly with the operator, alarms, graphics, improved management reporting. If I am the boss, I will know, like if I have sections in a building, I will know, okay, that section is consuming more energy. I'll have to look into that, why that is consuming more energy. Or to take a decision, what kind of chiller should I have, for example, what kind of system should I have. I will have all the kundali of that system in front of me, that how many failures had happened, how the system performance was, and all of that. So it is like management reporting, trends, history data, in what season of the year, how these systems perform. So all of that. This is the site Atmantan I talked about, 45 acres resort. It is a wellness resort, very expensive. You are supposed to you go there for wellness treatment. It is not a resort where you go for holiday, and it is a celebrity resort. So 45 acres, and they had one pump room in one far corner, and they actually used to have a very tough time in operating that room, because and it is a hilly area. It is not a plain area. So you actually have to climb up the hills and go there, and it takes time. You get tired. You can't have people run that campus every time. So BMS solved their problem. So we did BMS and fire alarm systems there. So if you see on the screen, on the right hand side, you see pump status. On the left hand side, you see tank status, lift status, and any area in that campus, if you click on that, it will take you to that section. And that is a very best example of BMS where you control such a large facility. This is another one which is again similar. That is Balmoral Estate. This is one premium residential buildings on Baner Road, and they have towers. So here we have BMS fire alarm, and BMS is doing, like, all the energy meters of all the flats are connected to BMS. So on BMS, you have the complete information about the energy consumed by every flat. Not only that, this has RFID based access control. So when the car of the resident goes in, the gates are opened automatically. He doesn't have to do anything. Just there's a sticker, just like the way we have those tolls now, automated tolls. Similar way is done here. And this is customer. They are happy, and it's very convenient also. This is graphic penetration. This is a GUI. So you see, there's a big building. You click on any floor, you get the floor plan, and you have the equipment.
Hello. Hello.
I think he is not there, ma'am.
Sir is not there.
Just wait, some Omkar has pinned up, so I think because of that it's stopped.
Okay. Hello, Sanap sir. Hello.
Aarti,
Ma'am.
now by the time you can announce the winners.
Topper.
Hmm?
Yes.
Till the time he connects, you announce the winners.
Yes, sir. So here we have our today's toppers list. These toppers are announced on the basis of daily submission of quizzes, course journal, and the feedback. So let us congratulate the toppers from student side. Avantika Bhange from production department, Devika Nehate from computer department, and Aditya Katole from civil department. Congratulations all. And from faculty side, Mrs. Rachana Mudholkar from computer department, DYPI EMR Akurdi. So Avantika Bhange is with us. Hello, Avantika. Can you hear me? Hello. Avantika is with us. Devika is with us. Devika Nehati. Devika Nehati is with us. Hello. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please start.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, everyone. I'm the student of D.Y. Patil College of Engineering from second year of Computer Engineering Department. I want to say thank you to our principal Dr. Vijay Vadai sir for arranging such a grateful international webinar on Education 4.2. These programs gives us lots of knowledge about education system, online teaching learning and various computer field like areas such as data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, which is very important for our career. I want to also say thank you to the webinar presenter for giving such a useful and necessary information which help to increase our knowledge as well as vocabulary. And I want to say thank you to the coordinator of this webinar for providing quiz on Genomio every day, which help to increase our performance in other activities. At last, I want to say thank you everyone for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Devika. Avantika is here. Is Avantika available? Hello, Avantika. Okay, she seems to be not there. So I am also having one more announcement for all the participants. All are requested to note that the logging to this meeting means video recording consent is given all of you. Please note, high quality audio and video meet is recorded. All are requested to note and follow the Google Meet protocols. Thank you so much. Hello.
Check whether sir has joined. Vijay sir.
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay, he has not yet joined it.
No, not
I've
yet.
sent invitation link to sir, but sir has not yet joined.
Okay.
Avantika Bhange has joined the session.
Okay.
Okay.
Avantika, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Please speak.
Good morning to one and all. A respected principal sir, vice principal ma'am, and all the DYPCOE faculties who had arranged this webinar. It's a way I would like to thank to all of this faculty who had arranged this, as it has given us an opportunity to utilize our time in such a good manner. And each and every session is so informative that each and every session is gonna help us in our life. Really, thank you so much for such an informative session. Thank you.
Thank you, Avantika. And we hope you will be topper for next day also. Keep it up.
Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Vijay sir not seems to be joined yet. Yes, Vijay sir. Yes,
I have
yes.
just joined. Actually, my computer was on a slideshow, so I could not see if, what's happening.
Okay.
So, what was the
Okay, sir, no
last you could hear?
Hello,
Ma'am,
sir.
what was the last you could? I don't know when I got cut off.
GUI. Next slide to GUI.
Just.
Hello.
Sir.
Sir is joining, huh? Sir has joined. Son of sir.
Which did you see this slide? This one?
After this.
This one?
Yes, sir.
So this you could hear me talking about this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, so this is graphic penetration. So this is like you click on any floor of the building and then it takes you to the floor plan, and then you click on any equipment on that floor and it takes you to the equipment. So this is called as graphic penetration. Now this is AHU. So this is where it goes finally. Then AHU is air handling unit. So you have all the live information available on the screen. That could be temperature, pressure, status, fan status, temperature, damper status, and all of that. Okay, and this can be, you can switch it on or off from here. This is energy dashboard where you get energy consumption details, line 1, line 2, line 3. So you get how energy is being consumed. And this is a real project done by us. There is a plant called Schaeffler India. It is also known as INA Bearing. This is a very big, very large bearing factory in Chakan. So this is where we use Siemens BMS, and what you see here on the screen is the energy monitoring. So it tells you consumption from MSEB plus DG, then export to MSEB, and all of that. Like all the, they have MSEB, they have DG, and they have solar. So all these three sources. Here, if you see feeder name, solar meter details, all these live details are available. Then exhaust fans, the status of the exhaust fan, whether it is on, off, tripped, all of that. Then this is the various power sources. You have DG, you have solar, and you have MSEB. So where transformer, that is. So from which transformer, where the power is coming from, and things like that. These are the transformer status. And all of this is on BMS, believe me. These are tanks. You have soft water tank, which is full. Your raw water tank, which is, there's no water in it. Fire water tank is not yet connected, and all the pumps. So all the status, live status you can see. These are some of the projects we did, which is, this is a Gera Imperium Rise. This is at the junction of Wipro and Infosys, Hinjewadi phase 2. The reason I'm showing you this is because these are the live projects. So if somebody is interested, we definitely can talk more, and also we can go there. This is this famous Atmantan spa and resort. This is 45-acre Mushi resort. This is Oxford Golf Resort. This is again a similar, not as big as Atmantan, but this is also a very challenging thing we did. This is hospital. So if you see, the reason I'm showing you this different example is because BMS is used everywhere. It could be airport, it could be hospital, it could be resort, it could be, you name the facility, mall. We did all the malls built by Gera. There are 4 malls in Goa, 2 malls in here in Pune. This is Pune Mahanagarpalika, Pune Corporation. So we convinced the authorities there to go for BMS, and they finally agreed. And this building is equipped with BMS. So this is about my presentation, and there is one more thing I would like to just touch base upon here, which will take another 2 minutes maybe. Couple of days ago, there was a session by Mrs. Sakhi Chandran, and she talked about INBAC, Integrated Building Automation Community. I am also part of that community, which is being led by her. And the whole purpose of that community is to spread awareness and get more and more buy-in for BMS. Today's thing is BMS is like an uncut gem. It is, people know about it, but people probably don't want to get into the details of the benefit, and they don't even, because of that, they cannot even get those benefits. So this is, we want to, and also we want to make it affordable. So that is the initiative, that is the community we are trying to do. There is a no profit, like we don't market any product there. It is just the system, and also we are trying to work on the standardization. We are trying to cover all the aspects of it, with like OEMs, companies like Honeywell who make the BMS, companies like L&T construction companies, Hiranandani, they use that BMS. Student community, very large student community. We are also having education as one of the part on INBAC, and all of that we are trying. So we will come back to you with that more detail, me and Sakhi, and maybe we have another session at the college on INBAC. So thank you very much. Once again, thank you, Dr. Wadhai and the team for inviting me here. And I'm really feel privileged to be part of this speakers, and definitely you can get this. You see my details on the screen. So if you need to contact me, you can contact me at any time. Thank you very much. You can ask questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for making us aware GUI as a main feature of BMS systems and huge scope in BMS. For this, we will be very happy to see you in the college afterwards. Thank you so much, sir. So we will quickly take some questions.
Yes.
The first question is, what is integrated BMS? What is the actual concept of integrated BMS?
Okay, BMS, when the BMS was, when BMS started coming in, it was just a BMS, one control system, trying to control various, like control pumps or like a very basic functionality. So what they did, now because building is like, it is not like a plant. Building has a lot of subsystems. Building has fire alarm system, building has access control system, building has lifts. So they developed the protocols on Modbus, and now all these systems can be connected to the BMS. So BMS stays as heart of the system, and with all these subsystems connected to it. So that is what it is called as integrated or intelligent building management system.
Thank you, sir. The next question is, please elaborate on the concept of intelligence in BMS or intelligent building. Question is from Dr. B.B. Musmade.
Intelligence, today the buildings are, see, we all like smart, okay, smart home, smart building. So buildings are becoming more and more smart. In other words, I would say they are becoming more and more intelligent. Now the intelligence of that building is majorly it is in BMS because all the, as I said in my presentation, that you sit at one place and you can take a lot of actions. You have a lighting control, automatic lighting control, you have a chiller sequencing, you have ventilation fan control. So all this is controlled like a plant. Plus we have building all the systems connected across over IoT to the management center. So you have the data placed in on the cloud, in the data center. So these buildings are able to take their own decisions. They are very low energy consuming buildings because energy saving mechanism is built in the building control system. So that's what makes it intelligent. Okay, so it takes care of itself and intelligent or smart. And that major intelligence in the building is brought in by BMS, where all the systems are actually connected to one single location. If you go back to that Atmantan example I gave, it is 40 acres. So imagine a person running around maintaining all those whole thing or monitoring. So everything is at one place. Does that answer your question, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Next question. This question is from Dr. Ashok More from Civil Engineering Department. How we can achieve building automation with the self-sufficient and efficient platinum scale green buildings?
Building automation is a mandatory thing for getting building certified as green building. So because building automation gives you the dashboards, building automation gives you all the information which is required in that certification process. And what is green building? Green building means the lowest energy consuming building. Okay, so building automation can actually implement a lot of energy saving mechanisms. Like to the extent, I'll give you one simple example that you use renewable energy, you use that Chapler example I give. So that control is done by BMS. You use, it goes to the extent of actually deciding your glass, the tint of the glass, the glass, the facade glasses, how much heat can come in, and to reduce that as far as possible so that you use less energy in cooling the inside of the building. So most of these things are done by, so building automation has become now a mandatory thing if you want to apply for a green building certification. Green building is a big subject in itself, and maybe we can have another session on that. But in a very, very short way, green building is just a building, highly energy efficient building.
Yes, thank you, sir. One last question, probably it is last question. How artificial intelligence is affecting BMS?
Artificial intelligence will stand at the IoT layer. When you have, see, now we have, see, like this one building, big building. So you gather all the data from that building, and it goes to over IoT, it goes into the analytics. You have data and analytics layer if you talk about IoT. Now that analytics will have AI associated with it. So based on the data, then there is a decision making which happens. and then it gives instruction to the building operator to what to do. You see what parameters to be controlled, how they are to be controlled, and all of that. So it is very much there now in building automation, and it is at the level of data and analytics, which is a part of the IoT.
Thank you, sir. Being the instrumentation background, I also find very pleasure in your presentation. Over to you, Malti ma'am.
Yes. So thank you very much for your presentation. Very nice and excellent presentation given by you. You have given the practical concepts of IoT. Whatever we people are teaching in theory, you have implemented it. And if you can be able to permit us to visit your buildings, like what we can see practically, I think that would be nice of you. And we will try to make use of maximum opportunity from your side to use the systems whatever you have implemented in practice. Thank you very much, sir, for your nice and excellent presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.